6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Piris and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The outgoing UN representative, Hannah Singer, calls on the President. The Inland Revenue Amendment Act comes into force from today. The FAO highlights humanitarian needs in Sri Lanka continue to rise sharply in 2022. The State Minister of Finance refutes claims that prices of products used by differently abled people will increase by 400% due to recent tax revisions. France extends support to Sri Lanka gain economic stability. The Parliamentary Committee on High Posts approves the appointments of 4 ambassadors and 2 permanent representatives. A special Christmas carol concert and a carnival organized by the tourism at the Golface Green. International news, Russia drone attack targets critical infrastructure in Kyiv. Sports cricket, Rehan Ahmed triple strike rocks Pakistan. News in detail. The resident coordinator of the United Nations in Sri Lanka, Hannah Singer, has called on President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Hannah Singer is vacating her post upon completion of service in Sri Lanka. The President engaged in cordial discussion with Singer today and thanked her for the services she rendered to the country and wished her the best of luck in all future endeavours. Hannah Singer served as the resident coordinator of the United Nations to Sri Lanka since the 7th of September 2018. Speaker of Parliament Mahinda Abeyewardene today endorsed the certificate on the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill, which was passed by a majority of votes after debate. Following the debate on the second reading of the bill held recently, a division was called by the opposition. Accordingly, 83 votes were cast in favour of the bill and 41 votes were cast against. A division was called for the third reading of the Inland Revenue Amendment Bill by the opposition, to which 79 votes were cast in favour of the bill and 36 votes were cast against. Accordingly, this bill comes into force as Inland Revenue Amendment Act No. 45 of 2022 from today. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization highlights that humanitarian needs in Sri Lanka continue to rise sharply in 2022 as a result of political and economic upheaval. In its latest overview of FAO's Sri Lanka's emergency response from June to December 2022, the FAO noted that Sri Lanka is facing a rapidly growing food security crisis and 1 in 4 people are already facing food insecurity. The report also revealed that since June 2022, the Food and Agriculture Organization has scaled up its emergency and resilience interventions, reaching more than 62,640 households or 244,300 people. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Parliamentary Committee on High Posts has approved the appointment of 4 ambassadors and 2 permanent representatives. The Department of Communications of Parliament said accordingly, approval has been granted for the appointment of Niroshini Manisha Dias Abeyavikrama Gunasekara as the ambassador of Sri Lanka to French Republic and permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization in Paris, France. Furthermore, the Committee on High Posts has approved the appointment of Himali Subhashini De Silva Arunatilaka as the permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland. Additionally, the committee has given the green light for the appointments of Lanka Varuni Muthukumarana as the ambassador of Sri Lanka to the Federal Republic of Germany, JADS Priyangika Wijegunasekara as the ambassador of Sri Lanka to the Kingdom of Jordan, and Sanjeeva Umayanga Mendis as the ambassador of Sri Lanka to the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. France has extended its fullest support to Sri Lanka to gain economic stability. State Minister of Finance Shahan Semasinga today engaged in an extensive discussion with the French ambassador to Sri Lanka, Jean-François Pactet. The 2 parties exchanged views on the progress of the International Monetary Fund and stabilizing Sri Lanka's economy. The State Minister said France extended its fullest support to Sri Lanka recover and restore economic stability. The special Christmas Carol concert and carnival organized by the Tourism Development Board, the Armed Forces and the police in the vicinity of the Presidential Secretariat premises has been declared open by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. The President's Media Division said the event has been organized to give the people an opportunity to enjoy the Christmas spirit, adding that a large crowd had gathered around the Presidential Secretariat and at the Golf Face Green in Colombo last evening. This carol service will be staged daily from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. until the 23rd of December. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siambalapitiya has refuted claims that the prices of products and equipment used by the differently abled people will increase by 400% due to the recent tax revisions. State Minister Siambalapitiya noted that there is no basis in such claims since the government does not levy VAT or customs duty on equipment used by people with special needs. The State Minister therefore stressed that the prices of equipment used by people with special needs will not be increased due to the new tax policy. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Let's celebrate Christmas and New Year with CIB with special gifts, discounts and easy payment schemes available till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
The Commissioner General of Examinations, LMD Dharmasena, says they are hoping to release the results of the Grade 5 Scholarship Examination within 1.5 to 2 months. The Grade 5 Scholarship Examination was held at 2,894 centres across the country yesterday. A total of 334,698 students sat for the scholarship exam this year, and that was Watchlight.
Let's celebrate Christmas and New Year with CIB with special gifts, discounts and easy payment schemes available till 31st of December. Come to CIB today.
World News brought to you by courtesy of
We give you the strength to rise higher and higher.
Never step back, but always march forward.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
World News headlines. Russia drone attack targets critical infrastructure in Kyiv. UK's Prime Minister Sunak to announce $304 million in new military aid for Ukraine. And Thailand warship capsizes, leaving 31 sailors missing. Ukraine's capital has been targeted by a wave of drone attacks by Russia's military that again struck critical infrastructure. About 20 drones were deployed to Kyiv and the surrounding area early today. Air raid sirens blasted in the early morning before the sky was declared clear at 7:50 GMT. Russia unleashed 35 kamikaze drones as many people slept, hitting critical infrastructure in and around Kyiv in Moscow. Third air attack on the Ukrainian capital in 6 days. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is set to announce a new $304 million package of military aid for Ukraine to bolster its counter-offensive against Russia. A statement from the Prime Minister's office announced today the package includes hundreds of thousands of rounds of artillery and aims to ensure a constant flow of critical artillery ammunition to Ukraine throughout 2023. Sunak will make the announcement during a summit of the Joint Expeditionary Force in Latvia later on today. The Thai Navy says 31 sailors are missing after a warship carrying over 100 crew capsized and sank during a storm in the Gulf of Thailand. The HTMS Sukhothai sank after water flooded its power controls on Sunday night. On Monday, authorities said they had rescued 75 crew members, but 31 were still missing in rough seas. Search crews worked throughout the night to find survivors, with the operation continuing today. Back to the headlines of the world news. Russia drone attack targets critical infrastructure in Kyiv. UK's Prime Minister Sunak to announce $304 million in new military aid for Ukraine. And a Thailand warship capsizes, leaving 31 sailors missing. That ends World News.
World News Brought to you by courtesy of
Amidst all challenges, we will rally around you and advance.
In the face of hardships, let's stand strong together.
Empowering you to reach greater heights. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
Development News.
A passenger ferry service is slated to commence from next month between India and Sri Lanka. The ferry service will connect the Kanke-Santure port in Jaffna district and Puducherry in Tamil Nadu. The Sri Lanka's Ports and Shipping Minister Nimal Sitipala Dissilva said that the Indian government had extended their consent for the service. The passenger ferry service is likely to boost the tourism sector as well as strengthen the cultural ties between the two countries. And that was development news. Now moving on to sports news, it's cricket. In the third test of the England tour of Pakistan in Karachi on day 3, Rehan Ahmed broke the opening session with a 3-wicket burst before tea. Held back until the 4th hour of the third day by Ben Stokes, Ahmed broke a determined 4-wicket partnership by having Babar Azam caught at mid-wicket, then dismissed Mohammad Rizwan and Saad Shakil in quick succession to leave Pakistan wobbling at 6 wickets down. Jack Leach had struck 3 times in 6 balls in the morning session, and after Babar and Shakil had put on 110 together. England were 354 runs in their first innings. Pakistan scored 304 and 216 runs in their first and second innings respectively. In reply, England commenced their second innings short while ago and were 101 runs for 2 wickets, trailing by 63 runs to lead the series 3-0. And that was sports news.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
An automated external defibrillator worth 2.5 million rupees was donated for the use at the Bandaranaike International Airport, Katunayake this morning at the Silk Route terminal of the airport. This donation was made by Hema Surgical and Diagnostics Company at the request of the Minister of Health and the Airport and Aviation Services of Sri Lanka Private Limited. Measures will also be taken to provide training to the doctors and nurses of the Katunayake Airport Health Medical Unit on the use of this machine. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The fastest way to earn the highest interest, an interest rate of 22% in 4 months. NSB, the safest place for your money.
Economic News, courtesy of
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 goals at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall Gold Award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
In economic news, Yakdong Industries Company Limited, one of them, has invested $50 million in the establishment of a large-scale container manufacturing factory in Trincomalee. The chairman, Hong Seo Guan, and the vice chairman, Kong Bong Shing of Yakdong Industries Company Limited met with Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Prime Minister's office recently and assured that the constructions of the factory will be completed soon so far as to commence the production within the next 6 months. And that was economic news.
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 goals at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall Gold Award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LONC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Weather Report.
The Meteorological Department forecasts a northeast monsoon condition to gradually establishing over the island. Showers will occur at times in the northern, eastern and north central provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere over the island during the afternoon or night. Fairly heavy showers above 50 millimeters are likely at some places in the northern, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Polonnaruwa and Mathare district. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thundershowers. That was the weather report, and before we conclude this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The outgoing UN representative Hannah Singer calls on the President. The Inland Revenue Amendment Act comes into force from today. The FAO highlights humanitarian needs in Sri Lanka continue to rise sharply in 2022. The State Minister of Finance refutes claims that prices of products used by differently abled people will increase by 400% due to recent tax revisions. France extends support to Sri Lanka, gain economic stability. The Parliamentary Committee on High Posts approves the appointment of 4 ambassadors and 2 permanent representatives. A special Christmas carol concert and carnival organized by the tourism at the golf face green. International news, Russia drone attack targets critical infrastructure in Kyiv. Sports, cricket, Rehan Ahmed, triple strikes, rocks Pakistan. And with that we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.